Hello, my beautiful angels. Alrighty, so today we're going to be doing the um, long-awaited part one of our neck and shoulders series. I think it's going to be a three-part series, but I reserve the right um, to add to the series later. So mostly today, we're going to be doing a little range of motion exploration, and I'll walk you through how that's going to work. First, I'd like to invite you to find a lovely sensory experience to bring to your practice today. And so, in order to help make space for that, I'm going to do my sensory things that I usually set up before I start recording right now. That way, you have time to do the same as well. This might seem like a silly step and you might feel like you want to skip it, but just trust the process, okay? So as far as sensory things go, maybe you get some fuzzy socks for a touch sensation. As you can see, I've got a very comfy, cozy shirt on. That's also a great sensory experience. Touch, maybe a fuzzy blanket, right? Maybe you choose scent for your sensory experience. And also you can mix and match. You don't have to just choose one. Often I choose numerous sensory experiences, but maybe you choose scent, right? So for that, I'm going to light some incense right now. This one is lemongrass for the solar plexus chakra. Okay, and I'm going to put some essential oil on in just a second too. So let's see, maybe you bring yourself a hot cup of tea to hold during our centering in just a minute. And also that probably smells good too, right? And maybe you, let's see, what else could you do? Light a candle. Maybe you choose sight, right? And you bring a very comforting sight, maybe like a picture that you really love, or, a work of art that you really like to look at. Maybe that's what you bring to the table. Like I said, you could also mix and match, right? So did you like? Yes, you did. I just encourage you to not skip this step because it helps us to get embodied in the moment, and that really helps us to prevent injury, to be honest, among other things. It helps us to get the most out of our practice for sure. Like if you've ever done self-care and been like, I didn't even feel like I did anything, you probably weren't in the moment. So this is going to help us to savor, right? And just really sink in to this present moment. And it's also going to help us to be a little bit more mindful of the sensations in our body and stuff like that. It's going to help to anchor us, right? So hopefully you've chosen a nice sensory experience to bring with you to the table today. We're going to find a comfortable seat, right? So I've got 2 pillows underneath me. If you come to a nice cross-legged position, I would highly suggest pillows. I'm going to move some stuff out of the way because sometimes I like to stretch my legs out halfway through, just if my knees get a little cramped. So hopefully you've chosen a nice sensory experience. You didn't light. I knew it. Hopefully you've chosen a nice sensory experience, and we're all ready to start settling in here. And again, some of this stuff might seem silly to you. You might be like, I didn't come here for incense and stuff like that. I just came here to fix my neck. But trust me when I say this is part of the process. Especially with neck and shoulders, especially if you have chronic pain in your neck and shoulders. There's always a possibility, a risk for injury. And so we want to take all these steps to get ourselves nice and embodied so that we can really focus on what's going on in our body. So we've taken hopefully the sensory thing. and we found a comfortable seat, whether it be on the floor, maybe sitting on the edge of our bed, maybe on a yoga ball or, a workout ball, or maybe in a chair if we can't find um, a comfortable seat otherwise. And we're just going to go ahead and take a couple minutes to sink into the moment. So I would encourage you to begin to deepen your breath and go ahead and put your focus on that sensory experience that you brought to the table with you, right? Or maybe if you haven't brought something to the table, find a sensory experience that's already in your environment to enjoy. So maybe you, um, obviously, if you chose a sensory experience, maybe you focus on the smell of your incense, or maybe you focus on the lovely picture that you've brought. But even if you haven't, maybe you focus on the way that your hands feel touching your legs, or maybe you focus on the way that your sits bones feel making contact with uh, your support system, whatever that support system that you put in place for yourself is. So we're going to take a few moments here to just deepen our breath and understanding that the mind may wander. And if and when it does, we could just gently and without judgment bring ourselves back to the moment. Maybe we find a gentle sway if we find focusing while sitting still to be an uncomfortable experience. Maybe we close our eyes if we feel comfortable, unless, of course, our sensory experience is something that we want to look at, in which case we could soften our gaze. And maybe we take a nice long inhale and allow our bellies to expand as we do so, our sweet, sweet tummies. And then maybe we take a nice long exhale and allow our tummies to fall with the exhale. Letting our shoulders drop down. Um, Maybe doing a scan of the body and seeing if there's anything we can release, unclenching the jaw, maybe unfurrowing the brow. Um, Allowing ourselves to sit up nice and straight, head over heart, heart over pelvis. Wonderful. And then if we feel like it, we might even take um, a little touching motion here. Yeah, just getting ourselves more embodied in the moment, focusing on the feeling of our arms, our hands, maybe rubbing our legs, maybe rubbing our arms, right? Just maybe rubbing our hands together, just getting ourselves nice and embodied. Alrighty, and whenever we're ready, we're going to go ahead and swing into range of motion exploration. So first, we're going to just start off with some nice, gentle, very gentle. Oh, right. We need to talk about soft end and hard end. Just in case you haven't watched my first video, Intro to Self-Care Yoga, which I highly suggest you go watch because it's got a lot of vocabulary that's really going to help us out. But just a quick overview. Our hard end is when we stretch into something and it starts to hurt, most of the time we push past our soft end. A lot of us push past our soft end. So your soft end is where you start stretching and you're like, hey, I feel that. I feel that stretch. That stretch is causing a sensation for me, right? But it's not really an uncomfortable sensation, or if it is uncomfortable, it's only very mildly uncomfortable, right? It's never a discomfort that causes us to flinch or wince or anything like that. Okay, so um, a lot of times we tend to think if we don't push out of our soft end and into our hard end that we won't make any changes in the muscle, right? But that's just simply not true. And it's understandable that we think this way because even in massage school, they taught us this. They taught us that your client has to be in pain in order for you to create change in the muscle density, basically. But over the years, we're starting to learn that that's actually not true at all. And a lot of times pain um, is almost always pain is the least effective way to change the muscles, because once you get into pain, you're tensing and then you're creating risk of injury and things like this. It's never good to be tensed up or flinching or anything like that. So, especially in exploration of range of motion that we're about to go into, we're just looking for our soft end. That's literally our goal here, is to find the soft end. Hey, there's my soft end. Cool. I know how far my range of motion is before I start to create some issues within my body, right? So, bearing that in mind going forward, that this is merely an exploration to find and take note of where our soft end is. All right. And nothing more than that. We're going to move forward. And again, I can't express how important these things are, especially in the neck and shoulders. We're going to take it nice and easy and soft, and we're definitely not going to push ourselves in any of these videos. So yeah, with all of that in mind, we can start to draw gentle circles. Here, take some gentle neck circles here. Ever so gently. Just to start to wake up the muscles in the neck and to start to kind of, ascertain where is that soft end. There are going to be times where we push ourselves into our hard end, and that's okay. But when we notice that we're there, let's just go ahead and back it up, back into that soft end. Remembering to continue with the deep breathing here, very important. That deep breath really helps your muscles to relax and gets you the most bang for your buck here, or the most benefit for your effort. We'll go ahead and reverse the circle, nice and slow. And then maybe we take it off the beaten path a little bit. Maybe we just start to move side to side. Ever so gently here. Wonderful. And finding our way back up to a neutral neck, right? We're going to start exploring the muscles in the front of the neck and shoulders. The neck and chest, right? So we're going to start out. With a nice, gentle, open mouth. We're going to let our lips part, let our tongue relax to the bottom of our mouth. I know that this is going to sound weird, but just again, trust the process. Trust me. Just trust me. So, taking this nice and gentle, we're going to start to focus on drawing with our chin. I like to think about drawing a little rainbow back and forth, right, with the clouds and everything with my chin, just to be really mindful of how we're moving our head while we do this, right? So we can focus on drawing like little rainbows with the chin and see what kind of sensation we're feeling all through the front of our neck, maybe up into our collarbone, and maybe even into our chest and pecs, depending on how our body is, right? So we're just searching for sensation, right? Searching for that soft end, nice gentle mouth. Feeling all these muscles in the front of the neck maybe turn on. And if we can't feel anything, that is data collected as well. So this isn't about, what your body's supposed to be feeling like or how far you're supposed to be pushing it. This is about tuning in and listening to what your body is actually telling you. Alrighty, and then whenever we're ready, if we want a little bit more, if we want to play with this and really get a better idea of all the subtle muscles that are going on here in the front of the neck, we're going to, while we're moving, close our mouth and then push our tongue to the roof of our mouth. Again, it's going to sound crazy. It's going to sound really crazy. But just do that and open yourself up to seeing how that might change the sensation in the front of your neck. And if we want even more, we can take our tongue and push it into our teeth as we've got it kind of glued up to the roof of our mouth. And just exploring what does that feel like? Does it change the sensation at all? And if so, where does it change the sensation? Maybe we open and close our mouths a few times just to play with this changing of sensation. Wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and let myself take a little back bend here. Well, the opposite of a back bend, but okay. And so next, we're going to go ahead and start exploring the sides of the neck, okay? So we're just going to start out with our hands on our legs or in front of us or however. Everyone's going to be sitting differently. So, excuse me. We're just going to start out with our hands in front of us somehow and take it to whatever side you want to take it to. So I'm going to go ahead and take my head on over to the left side and I'm going to give it some gentle rocking side to side, front to back, ever so gently. Once again, only exploring to my soft end. I'm going to give it a gentle rocking front to back to explore the soft end, and I'm just going to tune in and see what parts feel juicy, which muscles are needing the most attention, the most nurturing, the most understanding. Maybe there's muscles we need to be gentler with. And if we're ready to take this exploration even deeper, we can go ahead and drop the opposite hand. So since I'm down to my left, then I'm going to drop my right hand to the floor and continue this gentle exploration only if it keeps me in my soft end, right? Only as much as it is comfortable for me to do so. And then if I want to go even deeper, if I'm still in my soft end and I feel like there's more space to explore, I can tag some weight down into my pinky, right? And then allow my shoulder to drop towards the floor. Ooh, that's it. Now, you might have noticed that I started rocking even more gently here, and that's because I'm reaching the end of my soft end, and I don't want to push myself too hard. Alrighty, and then whenever we're ready to take this exploration a little bit further, if we want to, if we're comfortable, we can go ahead and raise our right hand fingertips towards the sky, like so. Okay, since you can't really see my right hand. And I'm just gonna raise it, and as I'm raising it, I'm gonna focus on the muscles in my upper arm until I feel a slight sensation, and then hang out there just to explore the connection of my shoulders to my upper arms. Learned this one from Yoga with Adrienne. Shout out. I'm going to talk about her a lot because I adore her. Alrighty, and go ahead and drop that hand. Let yourself even out here. Maybe shake the head. Wiggle the shoulders. Alrighty, and then we're going to take it to the other side. Same thing on the other side. So we're going to start out nice and slow. Hands in front of us. Just gently exploring this range of motion on this side. If you are sitting in the floor like me, anytime you need to, just go ahead and let your legs stretch out long. Take the seat that's comfortable for you, even if that means adjusting. You are the leader of your adventure here. I am only here to point you in the right direction. So take the time to explore your comfort zones in other areas, not just the area that I'm telling you to. My foot is falling asleep. Take the time to beat on your foot if it falls asleep. Take the time to take care of yourself and listen to what your body needs. And if and when you're ready, you can go ahead and take that opposite hand down to the floor. Maybe we tag a little weight in the pinky and allow the shoulder to drop even further. Again, only exploring to that soft end. What does this feel like? What does it feel like when I change positions? What does it feel like when I add this new element? Did it change the tight spots? Am I still tight in the same places when my body is in this position? Or are there new muscles that need attention now? Remembering to return back to the breath. I know it's a lot to remember, so be gentle with yourself while you develop new habits. It definitely doesn't have to be done all in one day, okay? We don't have to be perfect right off the bat. We'll never be perfect. And that's a wonderful relief, actually. So we can remove that expectation. And then if and when we're ready, we can go ahead and start to lift up the opposite hand, fingertips pointed towards the ceiling. I'm noticing, for instance, that I can't raise this arm as high as I can raise the other arm. Good deal. Noted. I definitely feel it deeper in this arm than I felt it in the other arm too. Alrighty, allowing that to release. Taking another moment here. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and explore the range of motion in the back of the neck. So we're going to start that out nice and easy, just by gently dropping our chin to our chest. Okay, let's start here, chin to chest. And then maybe we can start rolling the ears side to side, right? So bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, and then bringing the right ear to the right shoulder, chin to chest the whole time. Maybe we allow a gentle curling of the upper spine. Maybe we move the rocking a little bit into the upper spine. Just rocking side to side, feeling this. Ooh, buddy. And then maybe if we want to add just a little bit more, and only if we're very comfortable where we are already, right? We can go ahead, take a deep breath, up, 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 take a nice big stretch. Even if you're not going to add a little bit more, maybe take a nice big stretch just because it feels so yummy. Alrighty, and then we're going to take our hands, interlace them, and place them on the back of our heads. Okay, listen very carefully before we roll forward. Do not use your hands to push yourself down. That is not recommended, right? So we're not using our hands to place any force on ourselves while we do this. We're merely using our hands to provide a gentle traction. So rolling forward, letting the elbows drop, and using the gravity of our hands to push us just a little bit deeper into the stretch naturally, right? And then only if you're pretty experienced with working with your own body, you can take a gentle rocking motion just to explore, but only if you're pretty experienced and only if you don't have any neck injuries. Okay, if you have neck injuries, go ahead and hang out here. Maybe move over and stay there, or move over and stay there. But if you have neck injuries or like chronic acute neck pain, just like if you often have neck pain that's trying to figure out how to explain it. If you often have neck pain that's causing disruptions in your daily life, I don't suggest any rocking motions with the hands on the back of the head. And maybe if you wanted, you could even rock up into a nice little side bend, just a mini side bend, to start playing with mobilization of the thoracic spine. That's going to be the spine that's attached to your ribs, because we will be playing with mobilization of the thoracic spine during this series. Plus it feels dang good. Well, to me anyways. And if it doesn't feel good to you, that is okay. Alrighty, and then allowing ourselves to rest here for a minute, down, and just exploring the sensation in the back of our necks. Maybe we allow the thoracic spine to round just a little bit more, just to see if we can feel that stretch going down the spine. And then whenever we're ready, we're going to inhale up, up, up. And allow our arms to break free and take another big stretch. Maybe a nice exhale out the mouth, cleansing as we allow our hands to rain down. Alrighty, I want you to go ahead and take a moment here. Take a few deep breaths. I want you to check in with yourself and see if you feel any difference in your neck and shoulders already. Right? From when we started to when we were done. Maybe you even take yourself around in some neck circles, gentle neck circles again. Maybe you can go a little further than you could before you hit your soft end. And maybe if you have time, you sit here and enjoy your sensory experience for a few more moments to allow yourself to really anchor in before you move out to the rest of your day. So this will be part 1 of at least a 3-part series. And I'm really excited to work with you guys on this. My neck and shoulders definitely hurt all the time. As a matter of fact, I couldn't sleep last night because it was hurting. So yeah, I know from massage experience that a lot of clients struggle with this. So I'm hoping that this helps you guys to take a little bit of control of your body wellness. And yeah, maybe you don't have to wait for your massage therapist before finding some relief. So have a good day. Thank you for practicing with me. Maybe place your hands on your heart and thank yourself for practicing with you. It's so kind of you to take this time to pamper yourself, usually an experience that we save for other people, that we wait for other people to do for us when we wait for a massage. Now we get to do it ourselves. We get to take that power into our own hands and take control of our own body and muscle wellness, and that's lovely. So have a good day, make good choices, drink your water, take your medicine. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you so much.